Hi guys, this is Vidas and welcome to another Learn with Vidas tutorial session. This is a very special occasion because we are soon approaching the feast of Pentecost. So I decided to teach you how to improvise on the Gregorian chant, famous Gregorian chant, Veni Creator Spiritus. And specifically, I'll be doing basically a 4-part suite for you, and hopefully you can follow along and apply my tips in your practice. Hello, Niels, Dawn, welcome and good to have you here. Anybody else who's watching it live, say hello in the live chat too. It's open to all subscribers. Wonderful. So obviously the idea that came to me to teach you this tune today was from Friday, last time when I played one of my improvisations. Basically, it was a suite on Veni Creator Spiritus. And when I was thinking about the next tutorial session and the theme for that, I thought maybe it would be a nice for people to nice tutorial and nice musical gift to give you, because we have Pentecost approaching and this Gregorian chant is very popular and famous across denominations, of course. So hello Giovanni and Sean, everybody, get ready to a very exciting evening. We are at the Goch sample set from Svelink, Maria Magdalena Church, Seifert organ 2015, and I just set up this registration for you for the opening, basically march or trumpet tune or whatever you want to call it. But first, let me just introduce this hymn for you with a slightly different registration. Maybe let's do this principal chorus and mixtures, right? And pedals too, like this, and this. Wonderful. I think we'll be good to go. Right. Hello, Carla. Welcome. So, let's take a look at the Veni Creator Spiritus hymn tune. I have the Lutheran hymn book here, but you can follow along from any other hymnal. I'm sure it's in every hymnal that is in use in any Christian denomination today. Except sometimes the tune starts from the note F, like today we will do, or sometimes from the note G. Right? Zero accidentals. From G. Starts and ends on G. It's called Mixolydian mode, but in most of the hymnals it is lower, because the highest note shouldn't be unsingable. Like if you start from G, E is the highest. And for most people, E is just off limits, basically. So we do F with 2 flats. It's not B major. It is basically F mixolydian mode. And the reason I'm teaching you the mode and the theory behind the tune is that we will be needing this when we are harmonizing and improvising shortly after this. Two flats, B flat and E flat. Right? And let's hear it, basically. Let's hear it. It's a little different version of the tune, but I will keep the traditional one. Like this. It starts from, there are 4 lines, and the first line starts from F and ends on B flat. It's very important to keep remembering the starting and ending point of every line, because when you improvise, you know where to start the next line. The second line starts from B flat and ends on C. Third, B flat, E flat. And the fourth, A and F. The highest note of the hymn is D. The lowest, E flat, I think. Yes, E flat. So major 7th texture, not texture, but range, right? All right. Any questions? Feel free to ask in the live chat. And now let's reduce the texture somewhat registration, and we don't need obviously this. Maybe just eight and 4 feet. All right, that's better. Now, basically what we do with this information that we know the starting point and ending point of each phrase, we have to also repeat which scale degree do we start and which scale degree do we end, okay? The F is the first scale degree, and B flat is 4th scale degree. Then second line starts on the 4th scale degree and ends on the 5th scale degree, C. Third line starts on the 4th scale degree, B flat, and ends on the B flat. And the last one starts on the 3rd scale degree and ends on the 1st scale degree, F. Alright. These are beautiful melodies altogether, taken from the tune. Now, what we could do is obviously to a little bit teach you about harmonizing. Harmonization, let's take a look at the keyboard view. Have you ever watched my tutorial on harmonizing Gregorian chant tunes? I have 3-part series in Learn with Vidas, basically tutorial series earlier this year, which you could go back to and refresh your memory if you haven't done so before. It's very handy to know what I'm teaching right now. Basically, we have to stay within the mode, stay within 2-flat area. This is the home area, color that you will be hearing all of those 7 pitches, right? Mixolydian mode. It consists of a major tetrachord F, G, A, and B flat, and minor tetrachord C, D, E flat. The distance between those 2 tetrachords is major second between B flat and C. If you think about major-minor system, it's more like a major or major scale. Imagine F major, right? It would be B flat, but no E flat. So in order to build Mixolydian mode from the note F, we have to add E flat, which is 7th scale degree, but we have to flatten it, lower it basically. That's natural major. That's Mixolydian flat. It's lower 7th scale degree, right? And one of the easiest ways to harmonize this tune is simply to hold the 1st scale degree in the pedals like a drone. Can you do that? It's already beautiful. Nothing else needed. Right. Let's see if we have a better. No, I think that's the only thing from the Pentecost. Yeah. So if you hold BF, that would be quite enough. If you want, you could hold F and B flat, like a 4th scale degree and the 1st scale degree. And C. Flat, F, B flat, B flat, C, 1, 4, 5, 4, and 1. It's already beautiful enough, right? What could you do more with this is to add fourth. Below. Below the top voice, below F. That would be C. And if you want, you could double the left hand. If we have a problem, if we play A, a perfect fourth below A, it's A E natural, which is foreign to this mode. But if we play E flat, we have augmented fourth. E flat to A. So, which is basically out of place also. So, what you could do? You could play instead of E flat, you could play either F next to E flat or D, whatever seems more natural to you, which would lead to these harmonies. That's F. B flat. And now you could do F in the pedals and A, D in the lower voice. To avoid augmented or diminished intervals. Right. So, what could you do? The pedals could, of course, be more movable. You could even play a scale up from BF to like this. Let's try it. G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat. You see, I'm just playing a scale by this with this mode. Downward, E flat, D, C, E flat, A, G, right? Many notes fit very well the harmonies in this game because it's all in F mixolydian mode, right? You would actually play harmonizing with the tune in 6 chords, first division chords, like this. Beautiful. You could play in 4-note chords. Like this. 4/3 chord, right? It's inversion, second inversion of the 7th chord. already very beautiful, I think. Yeah, we have now all the material for harmonic development very much taken care of, and now you can actually start building the suite. The suite will consist of 4 movements. The first movement will be like a march or a trumpet tune, depending on your vision, on your meter and your technique in the right hand part. The second part will be like a Siciliano with the tune in the left hand part, the tenor. The third one will be like a meditation or an aria with the tune in the right hand part. And of course, the finale. Finale could have like a probably a little bit of introduction, big chords, and then probably toccata style figurations with augmentation in the pedals. Pedals will have cantus firmus. We'll talk about that too. All right, so let's take a look at the first basically registration like this. What you need to do is to actually keep playing this scale. Do that. What I'm doing is actually very suitable for this approach. What is the first movement? It's like a march, right? And march will have four common meter. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the form of this march will have like ritornellos, recurring melodies inserted before and after each of the chorale phrases, right? And ritornellos will have basically jumping character, dotted rhythms, triplets sometimes if you want. So let me demonstrate what I mean. You see, what I'm using is actually just 2 chords in B flat in this F Mixolydian mode. B flat chord, it could be E flat in the pedals, like tonic and subdominant, except it's not tonic and subdominant, but basically more like a subdominant and other chords like this. right? So what you could do is use those chords. If you want to keep the mode of the tune intact, you could start with F and continue with B flat. E flat, right, also. F major, B flat major, and E flat major works very well. Let me show you the keyboards. So, all of the 3-note chords will work. F major, G minor, diminished doesn't work, B flat major works, C minor works, D minor works, and E flat major works. All of those chords, 3-note chords works. If you want, you could add note chords. All of them works. Feel free to use whatever you want as long you are within F mixolydian mode. That's the main idea, and you will be just fine. Okay. Last Friday I did more harmonic, so to say, excursions into other keys, of course, like modulations and juxtapositions, transpositions of the ritornellos into other keys, a third up or a third down, let's say, or up a perfect fifth, but it's not required. You could stay all the way. Everything could be in F mixolydian, entire suite, by the way. So maybe let's stay within the mode for now, for this hour, because transposing and moving to other keys would be a little too advanced for this purpose, and maybe you could do it later when you get the hang of it, okay? So, in ritornello, keep counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep creating interesting jumpy rhythms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Right? And usually this ritornello would last about 8 measures, right? And that would be quite enough. And once you can play it, then afterwards create like a stop, like a cadence, and that would be a very simple introduction to the tune itself, like this. And then the time comes to introduce the tune. One line, right? And afterwards you keep playing the ritornello. Another line. That would be the form of this opening march or a trumpet tune. A trumpet tune may be better because your right hand is free to create ritornellos which sound like a trumpet tune, but keep track of the meter always. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't be afraid to add syncopations to those melodies. And also in the chant, you don't have to play values, but you could play like this. Keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. A little bit of nice syncopations between those static notes, right? So, and that will create a very nice optimistic trumpet tune for you. Everything in F mixolydian, everything with 2 flats basically, right? So that's the idea of this simple yet effective trumpet tune. The first of the suite. Now let's take a look at the registration for the second part, which will be like a Siciliano. Intersalicial flute cheminée, 8 feet foundations basically, and trumpet harmonique and cordenouille. Like a gentle flute, reinforcing, adding a little boost to the trumpet. And pedals 16 on 8. Alright, once we know the registration, now let's come back to this side view, and I will teach you basically you could look at the side here too. Everything will be visible as well. I could teach you about Siciliano. Siciliano is like a dance, Italian dance from the Baroque period, which has 6-8 meter, like a pastoral, a little bit like a pastoral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little bit like a lullaby. Pum, 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 pum. And typical rhythms in Siciliana are either tan, taran, tan, 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 taran, tan, 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 which is dotted 8 note, followed by a 16 note, and then 8 note. Pum, pa, pum, 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 and 3 equal notes, perhaps 8 notes in this measure. Or you could have pum, pa, pa, pum, 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 pum. 8 note, 2 16 notes, and 1 8 note. Pum, pa, pa, pum, 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 pum. Another version would do pum, 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 pum. Quarter note and 8 note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything that fits the 6-8 meter basically. But the most characteristics I think is perhaps dotted 8 note. Pam, 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 like this. And now again, we will create ritornellos around the tune, and then the tune will enter in the left hand part. And so on, right? What we need to do, obviously, keep perhaps pedal point all the way to this B flat. Everything that's like this. Very peaceful. Third line. And the last line. I, of course, could have played F in the pedals and did the same thing. Maybe shorter introduction if you want. right? Very simple yet very effective way. My pedals are just resting on the note F. If you want, you can play more with your feet, for example, like this. Whatever works for you, basically. The feet can be as active or as passive as you want in this suite. Now the third movement is like an aria, and let's take a look at the registration like this. We have again a little bit of strings in the resi, simple harmony. For held chords, basically. 16 and 8 in the pedals. And then if we need more, we could use 3-2-1. This. I like this registration. And so your job is to create interludes. Not necessarily repeating recurring melodies because you can forget, but perhaps you can simply create beautiful interludes between chorale phrases. And now that the chorale will be in the right hand part on the solo registration, 8 and 4 foundations without a 4-foot principle, without the octave, basically, if you have to adjust it to your organ. Softer sound, but not too soft. Principle 8 would be, or monter would be okay. With flutes and strings added. Undamaris too, if you have, it's very beautiful. So now let's do a little contrasting registration, which is all we have here, and contrasting meter. Instead of 6/8, we now jump to 3/4. We haven't had 3/4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A little maybe slower. 1 and 2 and 3. Andante. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep counting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I will keep. And I keep. What I will keep. And I will actually with my accompaniment, I create beautiful harmonies. What do you mean beautiful? Beautiful means a lot of notes, but always with 2 flats. Whatever you play will be beautiful. You can play 2 juxtaposing. Look at the keyboard from the above. Root position. You could play 6 chords. Or 1 in the left hand 6/4, in the right hand 6/4. More symmetrical. But you could analyze every chord that I just played based on the thirds in the root position. Root position chord, major, right? 7th chord, 9th chord, 11th chord, 13th chord. You add all 7 notes. You see? All works very well on this foundation note of F in the pedals. I'm still holding F, right? So what you can do, keep counting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The rhythm is like a lullaby. Half note, quarter note, half note, quarter note. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you could actually create this type of simple ritornello, right? Or ostinato if you want. Recurring, harmonic, melodic, and rhythmic motive. Like this. And keep now playing the tune, B4. Beautiful, right? Keep playing, keep counting. What if we played a little more like a scale in 3 notes? up and down. And then we could have more material to play around between choral phrases. 1, 2, 3. Always keep counting in this meter. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see what's happening. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat, of course, in the live chat. I'm following the live chat very closely, and if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. But what you can do now is simply to play around this beautiful F Mixolydian mode and create scalar passages in the left-hand part, but using 3-note chords in parallel motion. Maybe better not root position chords, but inversion chords, for example. Or second inversion. Switch between them. And sometimes with jumps if you want. Up and down. Create nice, like you create melodies with this accompaniment. This accompaniment will become like a counter melody to the tune, and the tune will enter with intervals of rest, right? And in these rest passages you will play with the accompaniment manual. That's the idea. And the pedals could still play the pedal point, any note basically in the scale of F Mixolydian, or you could have a counter melody in the pedals also. Just take a look at what I will be doing now in the pedals. Sometimes I create like a motive and repeat. You see, that's the beauty. If you find a nice melodic fragment, let's say like F, G, and C, you can repeat it. You can repeat it everywhere in the pedals, right? Or if you use just 2 notes, F and B flat, left, right in the fifth, G, C, C, G, B, E flat, B flat, whatever feels natural to your feet movement, left, right, right, left. And very important, give your feet a moment of rest. A rest is required usually for a pedal part to imitate a symphonic orchestra. because in symphonic orchestra, the double basses, right, which double the cellos 1 octave lower, just like we do with the pedals with 16-feet registration, they not always play. Sometimes cellos do play alone, and that's very beautiful. If imagine if in every, even in Baroque period, even in Brandenburg concerti, right, the double basses always would double. That would be too much, right? 16-foot creates this very thick foundation, and sometimes you need to hang without 16 feet to create like a motion without the pedal, right? That's why we have episodes without the pedals. Just look at any work for organ solo. Good organ works will have variety of texture, and sometimes that will mean without the pedals. And just follow my example. Sometimes I use pedals, sometimes I don't use. Right? So let's try it again. You see, be very free. Be very free and don't be afraid to make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, you can repeat it 2-3 times and this will become not a mistake. You see, you can repeat this intentionally and this will become part of your piece. And the last movement, I think we're ready to do the last movement, right? Registration, this big registration on this Goch sample set, except voix celeste and tremulants. Everything could be played. We don't need subcouplers and supercouplers perhaps, but every manual. So obviously it's very loud, and I won't be able to talk while I'm playing with this registration, but let's talk a little bit about the form, right? We all want toccata, finale, right at the end, but it's very nice to create like big entrance of the finale, to create like acclamations, a group of chords like which introduce the toccata figuration, or even they could introduce the tune actually. The first a few notes, the first motive. And then three short motives. And then you could have pedal point, or even without pedal if you want. Jumping, all kinds of toccata figurations. There are basically hundreds of figurations you could try. Don't be afraid to try what works for your fingers, and don't necessarily play with all the chords. Yeah, you could play the running passages around. Like at the beginning, you don't want to play a very thick texture, for example. Three note passages, 1-3-5, 1-2-5, 1-4-5, fits right hand very well. And if you want to do it in the left hand part, also works very well. So, and then afterwards I will enter with the big pedal notes in augmentation chorale tune, right? Gregorian Chant tune. And then we'll finish probably with those big chords like we started, to create a nice arc in the terms of form. And then maybe final run of the exciting toccata figurations, and probably Amen. Right? Okay, let's try. Let's try the final finale. So, what do you think? Was it effective, and accessible at the same time? I hope so. With some practice, you can start imitating what I did, and feel free to reduce the texture, augment the texture, whatever you feel more comfortable with today. But remember, it takes practice, right? My catchphrase, of course, Aushas and my secret of organ playing catchphrase at the end. When you practice, miracles happen. And remember, right? And remember, when you practice, miracles happen. It takes basically lots and lots and lots of repetitions. Not necessarily the same thing what you're doing, but repeating similar melodic material, similar harmonic material, similar rhythmic motifs also. Melody, rhythm and harmony, all those three primal elements of music. There are 7 others that we can talk about later, like dynamics, registration, form, and texture, 4 of them, right? But these are additional ones, but the first 3, melody, rhythm, and harmony, are crucial for you to assimilate, repeat, and to create your own, basically. That's why we drilled some of those modes, passages, scalars, and also B flat and E flat, right? And also I repeated many times the chant for you, and you hopefully did it for yourself. And you know, little by little, this will start feel like home for you. But you have to do it every day, a little bit, at least 15 minutes a day, you know, or 20 minutes, or 30 minutes, or 1 hour, whatever, how long you can do this. It's entirely up to you, right? But do this regularly, and in 1 month, you will start feeling more at home with these modes, for example, with this mixolydian mode, yeah? So Giovanna says, Vidas, do you plan your improvisations in mind? In mind, become initiating the improvisation. I'm not sure I correctly understand the question, but I think what Giovanna wants to ask is, do I plan what I'm going to play or not? Maybe I memorize? No, not anymore. Not anymore. There used to be a time when I was just starting at the beginning of improvisational journey, and I was so rigid, you know. I wanted to be perfect, of course, and I tried to imitate, let's say, Baroque style. And with Baroque style, it's very obvious when we make a mistake. So I would drill those melodies which are, you know, being created in my head, and little by little you memorize them. But after a while, it's not that interesting if you memorize your improvisation. So I started being more free with this and created just the general outline of the improvisation, like I'm talking with you today, right? And explaining what I'm going to do next, or as I'm doing, I'm explaining without memorizing, and I'm thinking in terms of what I'm going to do right now, and this will actually be you know, your own practice as well, because you can play as fast or as slow, only at the same tempo or even faster as you can think. If you can think faster, you can play faster. If you think slower, you can only play slower. Yeah, so you have to adjust your thinking process. You have to be fluent with your thinking about what's coming next, what would you like to achieve, and that only comes with practice and listening. The key thing is listening and analyzing what you're hearing of other people play. Imagine you're on YouTube, yeah, every day listening to my recordings, my colleagues on YouTube, Rian, James Michael Stevens, right? Phil Leonbauer, who else influences? Carson Kuhlman, of course. Visit his channel. He publishes 3 contemporary pieces per day, and you can actually listen to all of them and think about what do you like about this, and how the piece is put together, what is constructed, and little by little these new materials will come to you as you are listening more and more and more, it's like you are like a vessel of those ideas, because somebody is pouring those melodies, harmonies, and rhythms into you, into your bag of tricks. And if you're open to this, and you can, of course, practice, and it will become a little bit of miracle to you. After a while, in every month you will discover something new about yourself, about the pieces that you're playing, and about the instrument. 3 things that you will discover every month. But you have to keep practicing and be free, be free, not memorize. I don't recommend memorizing unless you're imitating specific Baroque style, which then needs to be thought very well, and maybe even written down on sheet of paper or computer program. Then you need to memorize some patterns and then drill, transpose them into other keys, right? But even then, these memorizations won't be specific. They will be different every time you play, because when you memorize, when you have to recreate what you memorized, it will be a little bit different, right? So practice and pay attention to theory, what you're doing. Keep basically the theory a little simple. Stay within the mode and do whatever you feel comfortable for your hands. And that said, of course, you need to expand your technical skills, playing technical works, original organ repertoire, right? Which actually expands your not only mind, theoretical thinking, but also enables you to play more advanced stuff on your own as well as you improvising as well. So motivation, Don. Yes, practice, but like James Michael Stevens says, go slow, but never stop. I really like this idea. You don't have to play entire day, just these improvisations. No, you have many responsibilities in your life. But if you do a little bit every day, little by little, if you don't stop, some things will be revealed to you, and you will become more free with this material. All right. So thanks so much for watching, and your support means the world to me. So thank you for your Buy Me a Coffee donations, super chat, super thanks, channel memberships, PayPal donations if you want. Some people choose PayPal as well. So everything is very much appreciated. If you find my teachings valuable, you can say thanks like this for me as well. It will be very nice coffee afterwards for me and Osha. Thank you so much. And of course, stay tuned for other videos. I'm composing every day for the organ, creating sacred meditation collections. This week I will finish them and upload them as one collection, as a book, and also as a streaming material to stream on streaming platforms like Spotify and others. So stay tuned. Lots and lots of inspiration for you this week is coming up soon, and of course on Friday. On Friday, submit your requests if you have any for On the Bench with Vidas session. So stay tuned, and remember, when you practice, miracles happen.